Be me, Jason, 31, shift lead at regional warehouse for online retailer called Quick Cart. Huge gray box by the highway, 20 loading docks, endless shelves of boxes, forklifts buzzing like angry bees. My kingdom is night shift pick and pack, making sure orders go from screen to truck without someone dying or crying. Crew is mixed. Guys on forklifts and bulk, women mostly on small picks and packing tables, but plenty of overlap. Nothing fancy, just scanners, pallet jacks, coffee that tastes like forklift battery water, and constant beeping of barcode guns. Boss is operations manager Rick, ex-trucker, bald, permanently tired. Religion is no late trucks, no OSHA fines. HR used to be Linda, older lady who handled schedules, injuries, and holiday party pizza with minimal drama. 1 week, Linda retires, goes to Florida. We get email about new head of people and culture for fulfillment division. Already sounds like trouble, because we are not culture. We are bruises on shins and boxes on pallets. Next Monday, they drag all leads and supervisors into break room that smells like chili and cardboard dust. On little stage stands, new HR queen, Sloan, early 30s, sharp jaw, high ponytail, combat boots, expensive-looking glasses, her blazer covered with pins like "Smash the Patriarchy," "My Rights, My Rules," and one that just says "Nope" in pink. Projector, lights up slide. Reimagining warehouse work through a feminist lens. Rick looks like he wants to unplug the projector with his teeth. Sloan starts speech about how warehouses are the last bastion of industrial masculinity, says men hoard certification, strength, and night shift pay, while women get relegated to tedious, underpaid light labor. Claims our layout, assignment charts, even break rules encode patriarchy into the physical space. I mostly think about my coffee going cold, but keep eye contact so she doesn't put me on some list. She says corporate gave her mandate to launch FairLoad initiative, pilot site here, future template for all quick cart centers. First change hits between shifts on Thursday, new laminated posters on every pillar. FairLoad Phase 1, zone realignment. Warehouse now split into color-coded zones, green, yellow, pink. Green is heavy bulk, large appliances, dog food, water cases, usual back killer stuff. Yellow is middle, mixed items, random house crap, toys, tools, books, normal orders. Pink is new, little fenced area around cosmetics, clothes, lifestyle brands, mostly stuff marketed to women. Rule sheet says pink zone can only be staffed by women to center their safety and economic agency around products made for them. Men not allowed inside fence unless invited and supervised by pink zone lead. Must sign log if they step in. Sounds like joke until I see welded posts, actual chain with pink plastic flagging, and brand new clipboard at gate. Rick argues quietly that heavy pallets still need forklifts, driven mostly by certified guys. Sloan says that's Phase 2. Phase 1 already sucks, because Pink Zone includes high-volume items we need to hit daily quotas. We used to flex whoever was free to help pick lipstick and leggings. Now half my crew banned from whole corner of building, night 1 of new layout, orders backing up in pink, scanner screens flashing, pick backlog, women over there drowning, Sarah, pink lead, good worker, but only has 3 people, waves at me begging for help. I jog over, stop at fence like new stupid border, ask if I can go in to run pallets for them. She sighs, flips log, signs me in as escort. Sloan, watching from mezzanine like prison guard, can only bring pallet to gate, hand off boxes over chain. Feels like we're smuggling foundation across the DMZ trucks, leave late, because pink items bottleneck everything, drivers complaining, Rick chewing his mustache. Sloan strolls through with tablet, smiling, says backlog is adjustment pain, and we're learning to decenter male flexibility. Week later, FairLoad Phase 2 arrives, neatly printed packet in our mail slots. Headline, Lift Equity and Safety Reassignment, which already smells like pulled muscle and paperwork. Policy says, from now on, men cannot be primary assigned to green heavy zones more than 3 shifts in a row. Goal is preventing exploitation of men's bodies as default tools, and creating room for women to step into strength roles. Translation: at least 1 woman per shift must be put on forklifts and heavy bulk, regardless of preference or experience. We already had 2 women forklift certified, both solid, but now Sloan wants 4 more. By end of month. She handpicks them, all from Pink Zone packers who liked their steady tables and headphones, not 8-hour forklift rodeo training. Normally takes weeks of slow practice, ride-alongs, instructor shadowing. But Sloan calls that gatekeeping. Pushes fast track program, 2 weekend crash courses. Then they're supposed to run same lanes as guys who've done years. Rick quietly lengthens training where he can, but she counts hours and complains about dragging feet. First night new drivers go solo, entire crew tense, because steel plus momentum doesn't care about gender discourse. Girl named Lacey nearly clips a support beam turning with pallet of mini fridges, overcorrects, shrieks, everyone freezes. She stops in time, but whole rack still shudders. Boss from maintenance comes marching over, swearing under his breath. Sloan just claps from walkway, says, "See, women can handle heavy machinery when given opportunity." Lacey later cries in locker room, saying she liked packing candles, not almost dropping fridges on her head. Phase 3 appears in form of Tone and Touch Guidelines for Male Leads, another cheerful document none of us asked for. Rules say male leads can no longer hover near women's workstations, stand closer than 2 pallet widths, or raise voice in corrective tone. Even in loud warehouse with beeping and blasting fans, we must keep instructions soft and non-imposing. Also banned from saying phrases like, "You're too slow," "Hurry up," "What are you doing?" even as joke. Sloan says we can only use mutual problem-solving language, like, "How can we support you meeting your rate?" Half my job was yelling, "Watch your foot," or "Heads up" over noise. Now I'm wondering if I'll get microaggression report for saving toes. She installs anonymous reporting app called SafeStack, so women can flag hostile energy without confrontation. Few days later, I get email from HR about perceived sharpness in tone near Pink Zone Rack 7. My crime was apparently shouting, "Yo, left side walking," when somebody nearly walked into pallet. Jack Sloan calls it aggressive male broadcast, suggests using, "Maybe we could all try to stay right side when possible." Pretty sure Pallet Jack will not parse nuance before breaking ankle. All this would just be annoying circus if not for Black Friday looming over calendar like incoming meteor. Quick Cart does huge Midnight Madness sale, promises one-day shipping on thousands of items. We become speedrun any percent, stress percent. Corporate sends extra banners, extra temps, 0 extra common sense. Sloan sees Black Friday as perfect showcase for FairLoad. Sends long email about proving justice and efficiency can coexist. She also launches Phase 4 right before it, because of course she does. Phase 4 is Safe Aisle Protocol. New map where certain long aisles are marked with heart icons as comfort lanes. Comfort lanes are narrow rows between shelves, mostly used for pink and yellow items. Rule says men can't walk alone down those aisles during night shift to prevent stalking vibes. If male worker needs to pick item there, he must call on radio, wait at end until a woman can join him or clear aisle. We quietly rename them No Man's Land because we now need escorts just to pick shampoo. You know who doesn't need escorts, though? Random seasonal temps wandering wrong aisles when nobody's looking. Thanksgiving week comes. We work like dogs, sleep like corpses, live on vending machine sugar night before sale. Sloan holds little pep talk on floor, standing on overturned pallet, like revolutionary on soapbox. Says tomorrow night our warehouse will prove feminism scales. Tells women they're the heart of fulfillment. Tells men this is chance to show you can follow instead of dominate. Nobody claps loudly, but we all want her to stop talking so we can finish prep. Black Friday hits, building buzzing with pallets, lights, carts, speakers playing same 6 pop songs on loop. Orders explode on screens at midnight, scanners chiming nonstop. Pink Zone orders tripled because everyone's buying makeup and gifts. Pink crew swamped, new forklift women half comfortable, still slower than vets, safe aisle rules blocking normal shortcuts. Every 10 minutes, radio goes off, need female escort for lane 14. Comfort lane 22 blocked, no woman available. Guys stand there holding empty carts like idiots, watching time bleed away while women run between 3 crises. Trucks scheduled back to back. National ad promised, ship today, delivered tomorrow. Operation schedule, written by optimistic sadist, around 2 in morning. Rick's board shows we're slipping. First few trucks barely leave on time. Rest trending. Redrick quietly tells me and other leads, do what you have to do, just get product on trailers. I interpret as bend stupid rules, but don't kill anyone. Start sending guys solo into comfort lanes when no one else nearby. Tell them to yell coming around corners, watch mirrors, pretend nothing happened if Sloan asks. Things almost stabilize, then new variable decides to spawn like boss fight, huge new client pallet train. This year, corporate signed deal with fancy subscription box company Luna Crate. All curated gift boxes, mostly for women. Contract says every Luna Crate order must go out that night. No exceptions? Otherwise, we pay penalties and maybe lose partnership. Their stuff stored mostly in Pink Zone. Pretty pastel boxes stacked on special end caps like sacred altars to collagen. Sloan loves Luna Crate, calls it aligned brand, has been curating pink layout half week to make their picks flow like a poem. Of course, their orders drop right when Pink Crew is already near breaking. Suddenly scanner heat map shows half our active orders tagged Luna Priority. Black letters screaming while Sloan claps. Rick gets call from regional director. Basically, if we screw this up, you better have a resume ready. We push any warm body we can into Luna picks. Women from yellow, even poor Lacey from green forklift between runs. Safe aisle rules mean men can only stage pallets at fence. Women have to drag boxes rest of distance about 3 in morning. While all this chaos runs, I notice something strange on inventory screen system. Says we have 4 full pallets of high-value Luna Crate deluxe boxes in pink back row, but pickers keep radioing location empty. I figure maybe misscanned. Tell forklift to go eyeball pallet spots. but he's stuck at Comfort Lane Gate waiting on escort. Eventually, I jog back myself, slip through fence, while Sarah signs log with wave of hand. We both, too tired to care, walk to back row, spot where 4 pallets should sit according to handheld, see only 1/2 pallet and a lot of dust. Ask Sarah if they already broke them all down. She says no. We hadn't even touched deluxe ones yet. They're last en route. Check adjacent rows. Nothing. Check overhead. No misplaced stacks. They're just gone. That's 6 figures of product missing on busiest night of year. In area men have barely been allowed to enter for 3 weeks. Stomach drops like we're on that roller coaster from meme about OSHA violation. Call Rick on radio, he swears. Tells me to check cameras. But guess what? Cameras view Pink Zone only from 2 angles. For privacy. Month ago, Sloan insisted on removing one overhead camera that looked down Pink aisles too directly, called it male gaze hardware. Security replaced it with unit pointed more toward fence and flower decals, less toward actual product. We scrub what footage we have, see Luna pallets come in shift before, shrink-wrapped, placed where they should be. Then weird gap in view because blind spot between shelves. Only thing visible is top corner of pallet wrap, dragging past one camera's edge. A bit later. Looks like someone rolled them sideways down cross aisle that used to be covered until camera moved. All we see after is half pallet back in place, like decoy, nothing else. Meanwhile, Luna orders pile up as unfillable, trucks waiting, contract terms making distant ticking noise in my brain. Rick calls Sloan down to security nook, shows her empty racks and footage. She says maybe inventory wrong, maybe pallets never arrived, maybe driver errored, anything but someone stole them under your safe gaze system. Driver paperwork is clean, inbound scan done by Pink crew, everything confirmed, then vanished sometime around start of FairLoad madness. While they argue, regional director calls, voice coming through speaker like thunder with bad connection. He wants update on Luna. Rick tries to spin minor location discrepancy. Director interrupts. Says Luna themselves calling furious. Apparently some store display in other state missing stock, too. They suspect organized warehouse theft. Regulators sniffing around their insurance. Word inside job floats through air like fart. Nobody wants to claim. Director says, if this traces back to FairLoad bullshit, HQ will have my badge and maybe yours. Meeting in upstairs conference room, called at 5 a.m. Sun not even up, but everyone looks like they watched it die present. Rick, me, Sarah, security chief, Sloan. Some guy from finance with laptop full of bad news. Security chief spreads out copies of safe stack logs, gate sign-in sheet for Pink, camera stills, shrink wrap bits they found by back emergency door. Turns out 3 different temps from night shift disappeared at break, never returned. Their vest and ID just left. Phones off all 3 assigned to Pink replenishment because Sloan wanted more non-threatening male presence just outside fence. They had perfect access to pallets just at chain, 0 supervision inside aisles. Cameras physically couldn't see full path out. Security found tire marks from unauthorized pallet, jack outside door, whose alarm wire had mysteriously failed last week. Finance guy says Luna crate loss plus late shipments. Penalty basically nukes profit for quarter, threatens regional bonus pool, maybe our jobs. Sloan immediately launches into speech about, we must be careful not to blame feminist redesign for ordinary criminality. says anyone could have stolen. Women thieves exist too. Patriarchy is root cause, not pink zone policy. Security chief, not impressed. Points to her own emails demanding camera reposition, male escort rules, and restrictions on bag checks for pink staff to preserve safe feeling. She literally wrote that routine bag checks on women leaving pink would reproduce suspicion of women's bodies. Company lawyer on speaker asks calm, deadly questions about whether any of this was cleared via risk assessment or insurer. Sloan says she wrote concept note and presented at Culture Council, nothing formal yet, assumed support because nobody objected. Lawyer says lack of answer is not yes, it's exhibit, scribbles something we thankfully can't see. Director asks me and Sarah directly, does FairLoad make your work easier, safer, or more logical? Sarah, exhausted, just says no. It makes us slower and blind. Voice cracking. Mentions having to babysit fences and logs instead of watching product. I admit we stopped using safe aisle rules halfway through night, so we wouldn't completely drown. That men banned from aisles meant less eyes, not safer women. Also mention lost camera, blind spots, how weird it felt selling privacy while moving money through physical world. Sloan tries angle that if they had implemented full FairLoad across building, criminals wouldn't have found gap, which is wild take. Director stares at her like at forklift with flat tire and no gas, then tells her to step out so ops can talk freely as door shuts. Everyone exhales in one long, ugly noise. For next hour, they grill risk, security, leads, basically building giant bonfire out of everything labeled FairLoad. Lawyer says insurer, already asking questions about why we voluntarily disabled camera and changed supervision in high-value area, hinting we might eat some loss instead of passing to them, which is death sentence language in corporate world. Few days later, company-wide memo drops, as always, at 4:59 p.m. On Friday, corporate favorite drama time email from some VP of People and Safety, not Sloan. Headline, Leadership Transition and Policy Review at Riverbend Fulfillment Center. Paragraph thanking Sloan for her energy and dedication. Next paragraph saying, FairLoad initiative is suspended pending external audit. Suspended in corporate means buried in deep hole with no ladder. Over weekend crews come in, take down pink fence, remove heart icons from aisles, reinstall real camera pointed at product not feelings, gate logs tossed. SafeStack app quietly disappears from our phones. Tone guidelines posters peeled off pillars. Rick calls brief huddle before shift Monday, says old ways weren't perfect, but at least they didn't encourage theft. New temp rules tightened. Actual background checks, no phones on floor, bag checks for everyone. Not just some pink items still exist, but anyone can pick them now. And if you act creepy, security deals with you, not HR Vibes chart. Lunacrate stays, somehow, after corporate groveling and discounts, but we get extra security around their stuff, plus insane inventory counts. I work rest of holiday season in weird peace, less politics, more sore muscles, exactly how warehouse life is supposed to be. Later in spring, recruiter from boring but better paying beverage distributor hits my inbox, offers daytime warehouse lead spot, no culture crusades mentioned. Interview mostly about forklifts, accident reports, loading dock scheduling. Nobody asks my opinion on patriarchy in pallet flows. Take job, Rick shakes my hand on last night, says, go somewhere they care more about load weight than hashtag campaigns. on final walk through Quick Cart. I look at shelves, clean lines of boxes, cameras back where they should be. Fences gone. Think about Sloan somewhere pitching another company on Feminist logistics, with diagrams of safe aisles and pink zones. Hope person listening asks, and how many pallets walked out the door? Don't feel like Avenger. I mostly tried to keep trucks on time, while ideology turned into a security hole. Sometimes warehouse justice isn't dramatic takedown. It's just idiots being too expensive to keep and finding a place where boxes move because gravity and sweat say so. Not because someone color-coded the floor for feelings.